Hi everybody, hope everybody's having a good weekend. It's the start of the weekend for us here. Simon's did the shopping early this morning and now is busy finishing off the shower, putting the surround glass frame around it. I had to go and hold it all up for him just now, and I'll take pictures just now of that, which I'll add to the bathroom and finish editing that for you to show. Still need to put the floor in, the toilet needs to be connected, but the basin and the shower will now be in and usable, although I don't know if he's connected them into the sewer pipes or not, but I'm sure he still uses it. It's grey water, it'll just water the garden or the driveway anyway. But the toilet we need to connect to the sewer pipe before we can actually start using that. So we're still using the outside one at the moment. I don't know whether he managed to buy the pipes today or not. He said he was battling last time he went. They didn't have, maybe they've got now the shop. But everything I think is in short supply. I'm listening to other people who are vlogging, and they're saying that things in their countries have suddenly become expensive or in short supply because of the COVID and all the big shutdowns. People, the factories and everybody are battling to catch up, and supplies have gotten low because people are not exporting as much stuff or buying enough stuff, and now everything's gone into overload or overspending or over shopping, and there's not everything's, should I say, short supply really. I'll be buying a few things for the house. I bought 2 cabinets. I think I've got a video of that. I'll see if I can find that and just add it. They flat pack, they're 6 cubes, so it's 6 little sort of box cube, but it's in a bookshelf, like a shelf unit, and we put those to the pantry, which now gives me 4 shelves, with the main shelf at the bottom, and then the 6 cubes, and then on the other side of it another 6 cubes and the shelf at the bottom. So it gives me basically 4 shelves, one bigger than the others. And although we lose a little bit of shelving, until we can find shelving for the cabinet that we've got, or find a way of making it that it's not too expensive. Because at the moment, the way the boards that Simon's been looking at is $200 a board. They're actually sideboards, which are the right size, and it would take 2 boards to make a shelf. So it's like $400 a shelf. That's just too expensive. And these cube shelving was on special. It was $70, a little bit over, plus that was plus courier or delivery fee from the store. So hey, what a pleasure. We could use them in the pantry, and maybe even leave them in here instead of getting shelving to put all our stuff in. And as you can see, our stuff fits in it. Simon's just put a few things in, and we've still got quite a big shelf underneath as well, because just having the one single shelf was not working. I've still got stuff in the storeroom, which is taking up space, and I need to get my storeroom back so that I can unpack things and get rid of a lot more of those boxes that I've got in there. I'm going to repack this lot as I want it, and we've still got the plug underneath there that we can use for maybe the tin opener that it's here. Probably won't use much more in here electrically, but it is there for another plug if we need it. And so begins the odyssey of repacking the cupboard and bringing through the other stuff. And maybe I can still put some of the bowls and the things that I don't use that often in here. And I've still got empty drawers in the drawer units. Oh, I don't know if you can see them down there, but the drawer units, this one on this side, yeah, I've still got some empty drawers in it. That one's full of vegetables. Yep, we can figure out and decide what we're going to use those for. I'm going to be packing these, and I will give you another update a little later on, or when I finish this video, to show you what it looks like when they're all full and what I've put in here. What else has happened this week? I think that's about all, except that I got scammed on Wednesday last week, sorry. Somebody phoned saying they were from a reputable company, and they sucked me in hook, line and sinker. And normally I'm good with these things, and I don't know. My mind must have been elsewhere. I was thinking of something else or busy doing something else, and just towards the end I thought, no, something sounds fishy, and I decided, well, the best thing to do is change my passwords, but before I do anything, phone the company that they said they were from. That's when I wished I had two phones, a cell phone and not just a landline, but anyway, I phoned the company. They said no, they said nobody out, and I was already on the other computer changing the passwords of the banks and everything I needed to change, because they'd locked me off my computer and I couldn't get into it at all. So that was rather alarming as well. Next morning when I checked my emails, I found about 7 emails from Western Union, which I've contacted my bank, because the thing was, by the time they'd finished on the phone, all the businesses would have been closed. It was about 5 o'clock or 4:30, and the banks were closed anyway. So I phoned the next day. I got a hold of their fraud department. I emailed all the emails from Western Union to them, and then I deleted them off my computer. And luckily, because I had resent them, the first one that went through, which had the number for the transaction, it had faxed the whole thing through, so I got that through. And the Thursday, my bank phoned and said I must contact Western Union urgently. They gave me the number, and I was, because I could track that number, the transaction number with the Western Union's fraud department, they were able to stop the payment and pay the money back to us. So we were very, very lucky. We didn't lose just on $1,000. We actually got the money back. There's so many people out there who are not so lucky or do not realize they've been scammed. And it means if they take that amount every day for 3-4 days and you're not on top of it, they can clean you out, really. So it was just under $1,000. So yes, we would be very, very lucky about that. If they try to come back to me and say, oh, they need to get into that account, I'll say, sorry, can't help you. I've got no access to it anymore, which is probably better anyway. I think that's about all on this vlog. The other thing I did on Monday, I had to go to town to go and change my ID document. They changed on my driver's license, so that will be changed. I've got a temporary driver's license in the meantime. And while I was in the car, I set up the dash cam to film my trip to and from Gore. But I won't bore you with all that because I want to go through it and edit it and maybe speed up certain things. But what I will show you is my drive around town. So it's just a short little thing. And we are going, this is about taking you on a drive around Wyndham as we enter the town now. From the Matara-Wyndham Highway, we're turning left into Cardigan Road from the eastern side of the town. It's not a long drive, probably about 10 minutes or so. This part of town, as you can see, is still quite a bit of farmland, although the houses you can see in front of you there is a gentleman who, his business it is, and he fixes houses, whole houses, and these houses. So he'll bring the house to his yard, fix it, and then resell it as a complete house. And we're back into farmland, and further on here you'll sort of see some light industrial places. The first ones that we get are people who do farming in the area. They take They've got all the tractors here and everything for farming. There's also somebody that does building around the area here who's got their business. You'll see some tractors maybe there in the background and different farming equipment. And this one as well, with the big yards or warehouses, and then a few houses. As we come up around the corner, in front of us is the AMP Showgrounds, which Agriculture and Produce. You go down the road left, you go to Glenham, at Glenham Wyndham Road. We're just going to go more or less straight across and carry on. There's the AMP Showgrounds on the left, and I apologise about the screen. I've been driving in rain and I didn't realise it had left this on the windscreen until now, and it gets a little bit worse. Going round, and as you'll see, there are houses on the left hand side. Most of these have got plots or paddocks behind them, and then it's farmland behind that, or more paddocks for the horses. Down this little road here, there's some stables, and they've got a small racetrack where they practice or run the horses. This is Alma Street, because I can't get into Crimea from this end of town, but all quite big land blocks along this side of Alma Street. They call them, they're not lifestyle blocks, but they have, how can I say, like a farming area or place you can grow vegetables next to it, and that's the way the town was laid out. If you look at the town on Google Maps or whatever it is, you'll see some of the house lots have got an empty, what looks like a double stand, and that's what it actually is a double stand. So you've got your house lot, and then where you can grow vegetables or keep chickens or whatever else it was. I suppose you could call it a rural town in a way. Now we're going down from Redan, this turning into Crimea Street, housing down here on the left hand side. There's a house that's been pulled down on the corner there, I notice. I think it's eventually the couple died, and the house had to be pulled down, over 100 years old, a wooden house. Here we're entering Ferry Street, which is the main road that runs east to west in the town, heading towards Edendale. So we're not going to go to Edendale, but I want you to notice on the left hand side as we drive, the bank will reach to the high bank, gets higher and higher along the road here, which is to protect us from the flood waters. And a lot of you know that we had a flood 2020, February, we were evacuated. And this first property on the left is the farm, and beyond those flood plain or flood banks are the farm that he's renting. Opposite him is the primary school. And we come around the corner. This is the racetrack, Wyndham Harness Racing Track. So your horse pulls a little cart behind, and they do trot racing. And if you come up, as we come to this open space here, you'll catch a glimpse of a gentleman on his horse. Not this one, the next break in the trees. If you don't know what it is, I'd suggest you Google it. I will look for a link as well to put in the description. But if you look here, you'll see the horse and the little cart behind, and they trot the horses, and it's competitive racing. Never knew it until I came to New Zealand. Alright, these houses here, the larger ones, the ones the golf club, the other one's the rugby club, and this drive we're driving on is called Memorial Drive, and it's all for sports. All the grounds around here are for sports, and as I said, the schools, there's two schools on the other side of the road, but all this area along here is sports grounds until you go through into the street here, which is, I will tell you in a minute, Memorial Drive, Raglan Street. This here is Raglan Street. It's just a short one, goes up to the college, and at the end here, you can see in front of us somewhere, things stop moving for some reason. Oh, there we go. The bowling club, behind that is the tennis court, and behind that is the netball club. And then on the corner here are the campgrounds. And then that's a private home across the road there. He's got like a lifestyle plot, which is a lot bigger than the normal plots. So it's about 5 or 6 acres. We're coming up to the corner property here. And that is the end of the trip. We're back to where we started. I'm going to do a right here into Ferry, which is the bottom end, east end of Ferry, and go on our way home. You'll note that it's mainly residential as we drive, and this is what the houses look like and the plots. Nice big curveway on this one, and the trees and houses. A lot of the houses are wooden houses, some of them are brick, but most of the houses around here are wood built, except the older ones and the antique ones. Oh, those are over 100 years old, like the garage here, this brick built. Come up around the corner, we're going into Balaclava Street. There's like a little park area here, and this up on the left is the post office where I stayed and had the shop for a while, about 2 years. Across the road is the pub, the lawyer's offices, and then what used to be a bank, then the library, and is now private property. They sold it off because of the earthquake. And that's looking down Balaclava Street. We recognise the shop, and we are home. I hope you enjoy this journey with me. I will take you the other way around town and show the other side of the buildings and everything on the road. As I say, we're a small town, about 700, I believe. I thought it was 550, but somebody corrected me. And show you a bit more of the town as well as I go out on drives and take you through other places that we go to. Invercargill every now and again, and Gore we go to a bit more regularly.